Another bombshell for Hugo Corintiano, the scandal of the missing jerseys.
No, not this pace of ours, no. Because you drink a lot, it's too much. God, nobody can handle this kind of partying. There isn't.
Fa? Hello guys, how are you doing? Everything good with the TVs? Monday, November 17th, 2025. Have a great Monday, everyone. May your week be wonderful, full of peace, love, and lots of positivity. Now, for those who are Corinthians fans, it's hard to stay positive. It's pretty tough. It blew up today. In the morning, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, I can't really remember, but it blew up. The news that they're diverting the sports equipment from inside Corinthians. They're accusing in an audit carried out at Corinthians the vice president of Osmar Stabri's administration, Mr. Armando Mendonça, who has already denied it in an official statement. Explosion. I'm not here to accuse anyone, just to comment on what's happening at Corinthians. Someone took it. Someone did it. And we're going to talk about it in this video, because it's unacceptable. A team like Corinthians, as big as Corinthians, that this is all that's left. This is all that's left. To arrive at an official professional soccer match in the Brazilian Championship and not have a uniform to play. There's a lack of equipment. You are ruining Corinthians. In fact, you've already ruined Corinthians. Sorry for getting worked up at the beginning of the video, but I can't help it, guys. I just can't. I'll show you the footage. What is the Corinthians Sheriff's love all about? What does the Corinthians youth team wear? So when the rival stacks youth team titles, we don't know why kids today prefer playing for Palmeiras over Corinthians. Let's talk about it in this video. But first, I ask you, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, leave your like, hit the bell, and let's go. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. A club the size of Corinthians not having a uniform to play, a full uniform to play in a Brasileirão match. I'll tell you about Fluminense. Ask Fluminense if I can wear the number 2 uniform. There aren't enough number 1 shirts. The guys are diverting the uniforms. The guys are asking for too much equipment. For Nike, there's a limit. Nike set a limit in the contract, and the guys went over that limit. Why? Because it's a free-for-all. I observed Augusto Melo's management. And many Corinthians influencers, and I'm not one of them because I have nothing to do with Corinthians. Corinthians never reached out to me. A sponsor of Corinthians already invited me to Neoquímica Arena. I didn't go because I no longer want to be in soccer stadiums. I have no desire for it anymore. I'm no longer excited about stadiums. I prefer watching the game at home. But that's how I realized. Many Corinthians influencers are getting Corinthians shirt kits, full uniforms. A new shirt comes out and they get it. Then they do the promo right there. It's so good. It's so good. Now here's the problem, right? Do you guys get out of Nike's quota? Could it be that this didn't come from the quota that was exceeded? From the camera diversion and the club employee? Selling soccer players' jersey. Look at Corinthians' storage room. Here's the image for you. Look at the storage room of Esporte Clube Corinthians Paulista, a first division team in Brazilian soccer. This isn't a small-time team, but this is small-time. It's a structure. Notice the care that these dogs have with our uniform, with our shirt. Look at the structure. First class. Only the Vardia, brother. Not even in the Vardia, because the Vardia today is more organized, but not even the Vardia is worse than the Vardia. This is disrespectful, mocks the fan, and shows disregard for the sports equipment. And look at the youth team's uniform, all torn, dirty, old, and stained. What's up? The kid gets offers from Corinthians, Palmeiras in São Paulo, then chooses Palmeiras. Bro, if his dad has even a little bit of brains, even if he's a Corinthians fan or a São Paulo fan, he'll play for Palmeiras. He'll play for Palmeiras. There, bro, you'll get a decent salary. You'll have a nutritionist. You'll have, I'm not saying Corinthians doesn't have it, bro. That's not it. But you'll have a uniform. You'll be standardized. Look at the uniform. The kid put on this torn uniform. Man, imagine him going up to a friend who plays for Palmeiras. Look at your uniform. Palmeiras, all from Puma, all nice and neat. Now look at Corinthians. Look at Corinthians. That's just messing around, bro. That's why we're in the situation we're in. I'm not sure if it was the vice president, Armando Mendoza, but if so, wow. He's got some nerve, huh? A lot of nerve to do something like that. I hope it wasn't him. No, someone did it. Someone did. And who was it? He has to be kicked out of the club, brother. Corinthians, guys, the Corinthians fan. Understand this. Corinthians needs to shut down and lock its doors. It's done. New Corinthians has opened with registration starting from scratch. It's not possible. You can't be Corinthians with these guys who are in there. These guys who are in there don't like Corinthians. And the member makes collusion, the member of the social club, who has the power back and makes collusion with those trash who are in there, they don't deserve anything either. You don't like it. You don't like being here, brother. You don't care. You're just walking around because you don't care at all about Corinthians. The guy was talking about a soccer jersey, brother. That's the last straw. What else could happen at Corinthians? It's Tadala, lunchbox, electricity bill, seizure, transfer ban, owing even the letters, and field diversion. What else could possibly happen? What else could possibly happen? Corinthians is bankrupt. Corinthians is broke. Corinthians has no way out. Brother, if it's not Masaf, and I'm not saying it must be Safil, okay? That's not it. If it's not Masaf, an investor, then it's impossible. I said Corinthians pays over $1 million a month in interest, but they said it's per day. Can you imagine $1 million coming out of your overdraft? How would you pay that bill, brother? And it's interest on top of interest. It's not possible. The debt is hitting 3 billion and the thing just keeps going. But those guys who are in there don't want it. They don't want change. Corinthians, now they want to ruin the club and to put their own people in there and say they're the saviors of the country. You saw it now, right? The plan to pay off the stadium with Keita's sponsorship is just nonsense. Just talk to fool people. Every year end, this same talk arises. I recall when management shifted from Duilio to Augusto Bello and the photo of Duilio with André Sanchez, president of Caixa. We paid off the stadium is paid off. It was a move to try to win the election. That's how the stadium is to this day. Because the fools here, right? One even gave money to help. We didn't pay 10% of the stadium. We couldn't even manage 10% of the stadium, guys. The campaign's invalid. No, that's not it. Are Corinthians fans just fed up? The Corinthians fan who's a little smarter, who thinks a little ahead? Because there are a lot of Corinthians fans who are blind and clueless. You know, it's Corinthians. Corinthians is Corinthians. It's Corinthians. Stop it, brother. We're nothing. We're nothing anymore. Our history is there, but as management, as a soccer club, we're nothing anymore. Nothing at all. Only the fans and passion remain. But that, brother, doesn't make us any money. That doesn't help us get the club back to where it was. As long as Corinthians has a turning point. Kick out all those guys who are in there, clean up Parque São Jorge, close Parque São Jorge, and open another headquarters. Nothing will change at Corinthians. Nothing will change. It's shameful. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Really, I'm embarrassed. Look. There must be much more there. Now, consider the situation, the Corinthians sheriff's badge, the kid's clothes. How is a kid like this going to want to play for Corinthians? Man, look, I'm telling you, brother, it's just too sad, really sad. I never imagined in my 49 years that things would reach this point in 2025. Then we were very deceived. Those inside were deceived, but now we've opened our eyes. Maybe too late. Because Corinthians' debt is unpayable. Corinthians by itself can't pay this debt. It will need help from third parties. If Corinthians were well managed, would they still need to become a Sociedade Anônima do Futebol? Never. A well-managed Corinthians? Wasn't it where we stood up to any club in Brazil from these South American continents, man? Any club? You destroyed Corinthians. Congrats to everyone involved. And may the guilty be punished. Will they punish the guilty? Will they even allow the guilty to be punished? Life goes on, baby.